We're going to explain how to initialize an array of strings in Java. There are several ways to do this, and we'll cover the most common approaches. Direct initialization. This is the simplest method. You declare the array and immediately assign values to each element within curly braces. For example, string names equals Alice, Bob, Charlie. This creates a string array named names and assigns 3 string literals to its elements. This approach is ideal when you know the values beforehand. 2. Declaration and later initialization. You can declare the array first and then initialize it later. For example, string colors declares an array of strings named colors. Then you initialize it like this: colors il new string, red, green, blue. The new string part creates a new string array with the specified size, and the curly braces provide the initial values. This method is useful when you want to initialize the array based on some calculation or input. B. Using a loop. For larger arrays or when you need to dynamically populate the array based on some pattern, using a loop is efficient. Here's an example. Java string numbers il a new string. For int I il 0, I numbers a length. I plus y numbers a tilde string. Value of I plus 1. Converts integer to string. This creates an array numbers of size 10, and then a for loop iterates through each element, assigning string representations of numbers 1 through 10. This method is particularly helpful when dealing with large arrays or when the values are determined by a formula or some external source. Or arrays.fill method for initialization with a single value. If you want to initialize all elements of the array to the same string, you can use the arrays.fill has method. Instance: Java string defaults equals new string. Arrays.fill defaults default. This initializes all elements of the defaults array to the string default. This is extremely handy when you want a consistent initial value for all array elements. Initialization from another array, copying. You can initialize one array based on the contents of another. This is done using system array copy or arrays.copyof. For example, string a copy equals arrays.copyof the names.length creates a new array copy with the same elements as names. Remember that Java arrays have a fixed size determined at the time of creation. You cannot resize them later. If you need a dynamic array, consider using an array list string instead. Array lists allow you to add and remove elements after the initial creation. But for simple cases where the size is known from the start, regular arrays are often easier to use and